Our fifth video, the labor markets, we're going to learn about the labor demand curve and the wage elasticity of labor. What sort of demand curve of labor is, we need to work that out. So we've established that the firms demand labor based on their marginal revenue product, which is calculated by MR times MP. The demand curve itself is downward sloping as firms will recruit more workers if they have to pay lower wages. Real life example. In a hospital, what would you think about the ratio of doctors to nurses?
More nurses to doctors.
Yeah. So the ratio of doctors to nurse, and there are more nurses and fewer doctors. And who is more expensive?
Doctors.
More than nurses. Okay, so we've established that the demand curve is downward sloping. And it is equal to marginal revenue product of labor.
Mm-hmm.
To calculate the wage elasticity demand of labor, let me insert the equation, which is wage elasticity demand of labor. Some people also call it price elasticity demand. What is the price or the wages? Is the percentage change in quantity demanded of labor, or workers recruited upon and wages.
What's the WED for?
Wages is W-E-D.
Oh, wages. Okay.
Good question. Let me underline that. We're not getting anyone married over here, are we? Okay. One thing we've got to understand over here is the movements and the shift in the labor demand curve. Let me quickly draw one over here. Okay, and it's a rough to number of workers. Okay. Say it's demand for labor, right? It's the firm's demand for labor. Whoops. right? What we've got to understand is this demand curve can actually shift to the right and left. Factors that can cause this to shift to the right and factors that can cause it to shift to the left. And if you look over there, the wages is the same. And there are several factors that can cause this. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Where the demand curve is shifting to the right and to the left. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
As well as, let's say, the supply curve. I know it's going to get a bit mucky now. Let's say the supply curve and color it differently. Can actually move up and down, which will then have an impact on the elasticity, the wedge. And this is your ACL. Does that make sense? Imperfect markets.
Yeah.
Okay, they can move over here, and there are factors that can actually cause these changes. And this is what we're going to have a look at. So, a change in labor productivity.
Mm-hmm.
So, if labor productivity is high, what will happen to average cost?
Fall.
Average cost of. So, what will the firm do? Will they employ more workers or less workers?
Employ more so they can increase output.
At all wages, isn't it? So this is going to happen at all wages if the productivity has increased. Whether the wage is W1, the demand curve is moving outside.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that making sense?
Yes.
And same goes that if the labor productivity falls, then the demand curve will move inwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not move, sorry, shift inwards. Yep, are we happy with this? And let me just change the size of the font so that we can fit in more. Okay.
Yes.
Now, technology as a substitute of labor. Again, Tesco, self-checkouts.
Yes.
They have put in more self-checkouts and got rid of
More like checkouts.
cashiers, isn't it?
Yeah, cashiers.
Till checkouts. So, on the other hand, if the substitute of labor is poor, there is no substitute. Let's say, for example, where you need doctors, where machines cannot work, robotics cannot be involved, then you will It's an inelastic curve, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not inelastic, sorry. It's a curve which is going to be there. You can move it in. In fact, it might move outside if we've got population, isn't it? So there's more demand of doctors.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
substitution can work either way.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Technology that improves labor productivity. So I am tutoring you right now. I'm sitting with you and working on this.
Okay.
If I can have more students via Google Hangout, I can have 15 people sitting over there and listening to me, which sometimes I do when I have classes. So my productivity has gone up.
Yeah.
Similarly, with workers, technology can improve labor productivity, and when labor productivity improves, what happens to the demand curve? Will it go outside or come inwards? Shift outwards or inwards?
Outwards.
LP stands for labor productivity.
Yeah.
Are we happy with this? Okay. Now, elasticity of the demand of the final product. Now, let's say the price of so the elasticity of demand for the final product. If the product is a need, the final commodity, let's say for example food, then can you get rid of the workers?
No.
So what happens to the wage elasticity of demand?
You say so.
It becomes inelastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as demand for labor is derived demand. Okay, which is derived from the final good. The proportion of labor to total cost. And I've also put these pictures down over here just to remind you,
How productivity works.
yeah. Now, it's not only about productivity. Yes, food, final product, automation for productivity. And automation can actually remove the worker completely, or it can improve labor productivity. And then there's someone who's more productive with so many hands, isn't it? Really organized. Reminds me of an Indian god now. Right. So the proportion of labor to total cost. If the cost spent on labor is a small amount in total budget, it's a small proportion, all right, and it goes up, the wages goes up, do you think you'll drop workers?
No.
Yeah, so it's insignificant, isn't it? So the cost spent on labor is small amount in total budget, then the WED will be inelastic, isn't it?
Yes.
As labor will be replaced with substitutes. How quickly it can be done. In short run, it is normally inelastic. Why do you think so?
Because in short run, stuff like if you is it because it's hard to fire someone because it's redundancy packages.
Not only about firing someone, it's also about recruiting as well. It
Takes
might
time.
increase, you may need training, depends on the profession.
So in the long run though,
Yes.
it becomes more elastic because you have more time to find someone that's already trained or to train someone.
Train someone, isn't it, to fulfill your needs. So, yes, in short run, the labor demand curve is wedged and elastic. In long run, it is elastic as due to training, skills, and also providing information to people you're looking for someone, isn't it?
Yeah.
So many different variables that needs to be taken into account. If you've enjoyed my video, do subscribe to my channel YouTube Tutor Economics and please click the like button. Thank you.